It's anyone's guess when we will see a public release for Sim Update 2. The beta is still in the works, and this week we've seen 2 more test builds that were released. We've no idea of when we'll see the full release happen. Clearly, the Microsoft and the Sobo team are ensuring that Sim Update 2 will be the best Sim Update ever, and no one does it better when it comes to Sim Updates than them. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 will start winning again, winning like never before. Well, so at least we've got all of this week's release news, announcements, and previews, so let's jump straight into the video. Kicking off this week's previews and announcements, the iFly team with their 737 MAX was one of the last very high fidelity aircraft to release in Microsoft Flight Simulator just before the release of the new 2024 sim. This week, iFly released some new screenshots of its 737 MAX in the 2024 sim, and the team mentions that these are previews and a work in progress. The team mentioned that the aircraft is shaping up, but the screenshots don't mean to expect the release in the near future. But iFly did mention that the MAX is certainly looking at home with the new simulator engine. And of course, we will keep you posted on the developments of this one. Like many, we thought the iFly being so close to the release of 2024 wouldn't have taken long to release in the sim, but I'm sure it will be worth it once it arrives. The countdown is on until we see the release of the Cessna Citation CJ3 from Live to Air for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. The current expected release date is scheduled for the 8th of May, which is only a few days away from the recording of this video, and the team has now released the expected feature list that will come with the aircraft, including the interactive cabin, which has been featured on many updates that will have plenty of objects to click and press on. Live to Air's version of the CJ3 Plus is expected to release with accurate flight model, 8 liveries, custom G3000 based on the working title G3000, custom GTC with new pages, custom wires sound and stick shaker, custom de-icing system and icing visual effect. It would also include a EFB which will have things like ground operations, maps, notes, Navigraph and SimBrief integration. Got Friends this week provided some new updates on their latest aircraft project for Microsoft Flight Simulator. The A32 Vixen was announced a month ago and seemed to go under the radar, but this week the team released its first in-sim screenshots and more information about the project. Got Friends mentioned that the A32 Vixen, they have been in development with the aircraft for several months now, with significant progress of the 3D model, flight systems and avionics and fuel system. Now the foundation of the project has been put into play. The team is now shifting its development over to a full sim implementation. The Vixen is being built for both the 2020 and 2024 sim, but with no ETA at this stage on when we'll see a release. Taxiing over to this week's release news, but before we do that, here's a quick word from this week's video sponsor, SoFly. SoFly offer a number of products for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 and now 2024. It's great to see some of the old original products being able to be upgraded and used with the 2024 sim. I really enjoy using SoFly products, particularly when it comes to products such as the Weather Preset Pro. If you're flying around in a place and the weather's not doing what you absolutely feel like flying in, you can make it a great day, or you can make it as challenging as possible. Some of the other products that I do like when it comes to SoFly is their Aircraft Checklist Pro for 2024, and if that's something that you're new to flight simulator, this is a great one. Also Echo soundscapes that bring extra immersion to the sim, and a bunch of new airports. I will leave a link in the description below of where you can go and check out SoFly products and also a discount. And I like to thank SoFly for supporting this video. I9 Builds this week released its new aircraft, which is the Spartan 7W. The Spartan is an executive single-engine luxury aircraft that first flew back in 1936. It was favored by many wealthy individuals thanks to its performance and comfort, and the release of the aircraft is for both the 2020 and the 2024 sim by I9 Builds. You can choose between a few different variants of the aircraft, including a classic cockpit, a more modern cockpit, and a hybrid of the two. In the 2024 version, you'll be able to take advantage of the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 walk-around experience, and it will also include the I9 Builds EFB, where you can control a number of elements. Features with the release is, as we mentioned before, multiple variants of the Spartan, authentic sounds which have been created by Echo 19, multiple liveries, EFB, external GSEs such as rain covers, chocks, oil drip tray, multiple safety flags, and more. Enhanced PBR textures have been used throughout, and navigation instruments and autopilots and radio comms have been implemented into some of the cockpits. You can pick up your copy of the Spartan 7W over at the I9 Build store. I'll leave a link in the description below. The wait is finally over for the first high-fidelity Boeing aircraft to enter its way into Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, and that is with the PMDG Boeing 777-200ER. We've been featuring this over the past couple of weeks on the pending release of the 777, including a bunch of pre-release streams over the last week here on the channel. The Boeing 777-200ER from PMDG has released for both the 2020 and 2024 version of the sim. We won't go through the very large and detailed feature set, but the PMDG 777-200ER has to be the release with more fidelity than all the already highly detailed products that we have seen the team release in the past and is known for. The next 777 release for the team expected to be the Freighter, which will be in mid-May, and then the 300ER, which will be at the end to May to the start of June. You can pick up your copy of the PMDG 777-200ER from the PMDG store. I'll leave a link in the description below. MK Studios this week has released its latest airport, which is Seattle Tacoma International Airport. The airport is located 13 miles away from downtown Seattle, and it is the region's largest and busiest airport, which serves a key hub for both Alaskan and Delta Airlines. All three runways have been featured with the release, also the central terminal and the two satellite terminals. Seattle is home to both Microsoft and Boeing, which provides simmers an extra reason to visit the area in the virtual world. Features include with the release is high detailed rendition of the airport. Interiors have been modeled up to date, high quality ground textures, accurate airport and runway elevation data, custom jetways, custom vehicles, custom approach runways and taxi lights, custom taxiway labels. I've used this airport myself and it is very FPS friendly. You can pick up your copy of the MK Studios Seattle Tacoma International Airport from the Contrail store. I'll leave a link in the description below, and be sure to use the discount code in the show notes below so you can get a little bit off the price. Lining up on the runway for this week's sim update news. Before we get started, if you are enjoying the content and this video, the best way you can support the channel is by hitting that subscribe button. It is absolutely free, it doesn't cost any money, and it only just takes a few seconds of your time. Thank you very much for your support. Sim Update 2 this week is still in beta. No surprise, with no updates from the Microsoft or the Cyber team, except that we have had a couple of more test builds over the week, which brings it closer to a release when it comes to the Sim Update 2 public release. The first test build version of the week is 1.4.16, which includes fixes to potential infinite loading when importing config files, fixes to issues where the aircraft title could be missing in the aircraft list, updates to the DA62, general bug fixes to career modes, and they fix some issues when the live weather and historical weather, which pretty much broke the cache for all users. This one was one that was mentioned in the forums that was giving much trouble to the beta testers from the previous update. The second update for the week is version 1.4.18.0. This beta build included two small fixes. The first one being a fix to a bug on Xbox where the UI did not reflect the actual settings such as sounds, lighting, all that sort of stuff. So that'd be quite annoying for users, and also fixed a pop-up for third-party notices. With all these beta builds each and every week, this would have to be the most we have seen on any sim update, if not ever. And with all the hard work, I'm sure that Sim Update 2 will make Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 great again, if not better. No one else has done a better update to a flight simulator than Sim Update 2. Moving on to this week's in-sim marketplace news. I didn't really cover this in this week's release news as we featured it in last week's video, but the Coronado has released its F33A exclusive on the in-sim marketplace, and it is available for both PC and Xbox for the 2024 sim. Along with the Coronado release, we have seen a total of 67 new products releases for the in-sim marketplace. 35 were available for PC and 32 were available for Xbox. The other noteworthy aircraft releases are the Yak 18T from Nemeth Designs and the CH-47D from Miltech Simulations. And of course, we had all the usual spam aircraft releases from MS Sceneries. I can't mention this enough, buyer beware. And the other releases included for the week are 9 livery packs, 2 mission packs, 2 night lighting packs. Most of these releases are very similar to what we saw at the start of the 2020 releases. They are just re-releases of the same product for the 2024 in-sim marketplace. Also, this week's release included 15 airports. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button. Help us reach 100,000 subscribers. We are super close, and we will see you on the next video.